Hi, everybody. Welcome to Life Stories Podcast. I'm Shara Goswick, your host. There are no guests today. It's just me. It's been a minute since I have done a solo podcast, but here I am. And I'm in Texas and I'm outside. I thought a change of scenery would be nice, but it is hot. So, this is probably not going to be a very long episode. If you're new here, normally I have guests. I'm working on getting close to 300 guests. I know I will be at the end of my fourth year in October, so I've been doing this a while. I talk to people all over the world who are helping others in unique and powerful ways. I love talking to nonprofit starters and volunteers and authors and people that are doing things that you just don't hear about all the time. I love that. I love meeting new people, and I've gotten to meet people all over the world from this podcast. But today, it's just me. Today, I want to talk to you about my summer, things that have happened this summer, and how there have been some great things that have happened, and there have been some not so great things that have happened. But there's one constant that has not changed through all of it, and that is why I'm still here doing what I'm doing. One of the only reasons I'm still here doing what I'm doing. So, everybody has ups and downs in their lives. Everybody has really hard things that they go through. I've had so many hard things that I've been through, and I've had some incredibly wonderful things that I've been through. And even day to day, even week to week, month to month, year to year, we all go through ups and downs, highs and lows. This summer we've had some high points. We've had some fun things. We've been on vacation and we took a longer vacation than normal because we were able to. My husband usually takes off during the week and then he uses the weekends to recuperate, but we took off the whole week this time. It was wonderful. My idea of vacation is to sit at the pool or the beach with a book, and that is exactly what I did every day. I read 3 books and I started my fourth one before we left. But if you have read The Calamity Club, you know that is not a quick read. I think there's 700 something pages in it. So I did not finish that one on vacation, but I did finish 3 full books. It was fabulous. I got a tan. I sat at the pool. I didn't know anybody, and I just read my books. It was great. We also had a week with our grandkids. Their parents had a week of work and play. And so we did everything fun, everything you could possibly do fun. And I'm that grandmother that does not like to say no. Unless I have to, I don't say no. So I'm usually worn out by the time the week is done because I've said yes to so many things. But, I should be able to do that with my grandkids. I want them to know that I'm going to say yes as much as possible. And they're good kids. They're really good kids. They listen, they do what they're supposed to. They're pretty self-sufficient. They're getting older, but they're fun, and we have so much fun together, and so that was a great week. I celebrated my birthday last week, and that was fun. I got to go shopping, and I spent time with friends and family. It's funny on Facebook, sometimes you hear from people on your birthday on Facebook that you never hear from the rest of the year. So it always surprises me when people's names pop up. I'm like, "Oh, I forgot I was friends with you." Anyway, it was fun. It was a great birthday. No milestone, no big celebration or plans, but, the older you get, the less it just becomes a big deal. And also, I'm starting a new project. And this is not why I did this podcast, but if you are listening and you are a parent of a child with autism, I'm going to post the link below. I'm taking a survey. I'm trying to talk to 100 parents, 100 mamas probably, but 100 parents. Because I have a few questions. It's a short survey, it's not long. You don't need to have any personal information unless you choose to share it. Everything stays with me, but I need to get an idea of some things. And so if you're listening and you are a parent of a child with autism, doesn't matter what age, doesn't matter how old they are, if you could fill out that survey or if you would send it to someone that you know can fill it out, I would be so appreciative. I'd love to have 100. I am nowhere near that right now. So if you could help me out, that would be great. But that's not what I'm excited about. I'm excited about the project that I'm starting. This project, which was actually inspired by one of my guests. I talked to her separately, a different time than our episode, and it was a really productive conversation. And, sometimes for me in creativity and projects that I've done, all I needed was one person to believe in me to go for it. And that's what she was, and I wasn't even looking for it. That's not why I talked to her. So I am excited about this. And then there were some things that were not so fun, some little things, some pretty big things. We lost our cat. One of our cats is gone. And she wasn't even our cat, really. A few years ago, it was our neighbor's cat. She decided she was going to come live with us. And I tried to kick her out. I tried to make her go back home many, many, many times, and she wouldn't do it. She stayed. We have outside cats. So if you don't like that, I'm very sorry. But we live in the country and we have outside cats. She just stuck around. So then I started feeding her. And then when it got cold and icy, I would bring her in. And anyway, she just has become our cat. And I talk to my neighbor all the time and I, give her updates. But I realized this week that I had not seen her in several days. And so I looked on our camera because we have cameras everywhere, and it had been a week by the time I realized it. So pretty sure she's not coming, but if she does, that would be wonderful. I would love it. But that's not fun. Losing a pet is never fun. You can't see it right now, but behind me over there, my husband built a rose garden for our dog that passed away 2 years ago. And then my daughter's dog was our first grand dog, passed away, and they're buried here on our property. And my husband built this beautiful rose garden. I should probably turn the camera so you can see it because you need to see it. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's pretty bright. Anyway, beautiful rose garden over there. Every time I mow around the rose garden, I tell the dogs hello. I know they can't hear me, but I still tell them hello and that we miss them. But that's not fun. Losing a pet is not fun. I have been a little frustrated with the podcast. I had this grand plan that did not go as I thought. And when I was trying to keep doing what I was doing, I had 4 in a row, like cancellations at the last minute or people that didn't show up at all. And that's happened multiple times, not a lot, but it's happened over the last 4 years. Never 4 in a row. So when that kind of stuff happens, I'm like, okay, should I keep doing this? Do I want to keep doing this? Do I need to keep doing this? But I'm going to keep doing this because I do love it. And I know that's not everybody. And maybe I just needed a break. I don't know. But that was frustrating. And then we had some other things. Something else that happened. I'm not gonna go into detail here, but it flipped our worlds upside down. It was a shock and we had to make some big decisions and it was hard. It was really hard. It would throw anybody for a loop, I think. And so, life can be fun. It can be vacations and not having to cook and sitting by the pool and, going to the water park with your grandkids. Or it can be grief and it can be unsteady and you can be unsure of what is ahead. That's just life. That is everybody's life in one way or another. Your walk won't be my walk and mine won't be yours, but we're both going to go through ups and downs. The one constant, the one thing that never changes in my life is the faithfulness of God. And He is faithful, but that doesn't mean that life is perfect. He doesn't change, but that doesn't mean I don't go through ups and downs. And I know anybody that's following the Lord will say that. I like to think about when life is crazy and it's chaotic and I have no control over things that happen, like what happened to us this summer. I like to think about a big boulder in a river, in a mighty rushing river that goes so fast and so hard. That boulder does not move. It does not budge. And that is what I think about when I think about the faithfulness of God. He's not moving. He's not going anywhere. He promised us in his word that he would never leave us nor forsake us. And I trust him. I believe him with that. And I hope that you do too. And he says that he's the same. He never changes. There's nothing that you can do to make God love you any less. And there's nothing that you can do to make him love you any more than he does right now. You can try, but it's not going to work. There's no point in it because he loves you so much right now, right where you are. And so as I've thought about these things that have been going on and just how thankful I am that his faithfulness never changes. It never moves and it never changes. I hope that you know that. And if you don't know that, I hope you believe me because it's the truth. You can trust him and he is faithful even when life is hard because it's going to be hard. He never ever said in the Bible that life wouldn't be hard. In fact, he said it would. He said, "In this world, you will have trouble." So that's everybody. But he has overcome the world, so we can trust him. So I hope you are encouraged today. If you're struggling, if you are frustrated, if you are dealing with grief, whatever it is you're dealing with, I hope that you know that God loves you and that he is faithful. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to Life Stories Podcast. There are a few ways you can support me so that I can continue putting out great content. You can like and share this episode, send it to a friend that you think might be encouraged by it, subscribe to my channel, whichever format you're listening to, and tell people about my podcast. You can also buy me a virtual coffee. The link is below and it's also at the bottom of my website. Every donation helps me continue doing what I'm doing. Thanks for being here.